It was like a $20 million property across from the Minnesota Vikings stadium. He had like, I don't know, $3 million tax or something like that. He couldn't find an up leg for his 1031. So if you guys come across these people that are struggling with the capital gains tax, there's definitely a solution there. And have you ever been in a situation where you're dealing with like a 1031 exchange?
Yeah, all the time. Yeah.
What do you find is the biggest frustration with that?
Well, in this market, just finding the new place to put it. If they don't have something already lined up.
Yeah. It's the timing control. So I'll tell you just a real quick story that kind of was like the mind blower for me. So back in 2006, we had a gentleman who wanted to sell his multifamily property. It was like a $20 million property across from the Minnesota Vikings stadium. He had like, I don't know, $3 million tax or something like that. He couldn't find an up leg for his 1031. And he's like, I really want to sell, capitalize, but I don't want to find a new property. You know, I've used a lot of my depreciation. And so, you know, it's not good anymore. I want to just cash out. So he ended up doing a deferred sales trust. He paid off all of his debt. He sold the property and he deferred about $3 million in tax. He put all of that into super conservative like bonds and mutual funds. He earned about 4 to 4.5% over the time. 2008 comes. I'm sure you remember that time. Crash, right? But in 2012, he ends up getting a call from the bank and they're like, hey, you know that buyer that you sold your property to? And he's like, oh yeah, the 1031 guy who way overpaid for the property. They're like, yeah, we're foreclosing on him. We'd like to know if you want to buy it back. He's like, well, how much? And they're like, well, it's about 40% off what you sold it for. He's like, yeah, absolutely. So he ends up partnering with his trust as a JV and they go back and they buy the property back again. And on top of it, he got a brand new depreciation schedule. So it's like a totally like mind-blowing story that doesn't happen all the time. And a lot of people are like, oh, you got lucky. And my response is, yeah, he did. But luck is where hard work meets, you know, preparation. And so, you know, because he was set up correctly to get like from the get-go, like he was able to capitalize on the thing. And so when you're out there and you have this, like it's a phenomenal strategy for all sorts of stuff. But so anyways, there's our shameless plug on the podcast there.